When Xiao Yan displayed 3 kinds of different fires, the 4 Venerable Ones' expressions changed in astonishment. Last time, when Venerable Wind saw the huge illusory black phoenix behind Feng Qing'er, his expression changed slightly. His gaze turned to Venerable Thunder and he said in a low voice, "I didn't expect that she is actually from the celestial monster imperial family. No wonder you personally took action to conceal her true aura." Venerable Thunder smiled, with a hint of unconcealable pride, and glanced at Xiao Yan in the arena, saying, "Being able to force Qing'er to use the secret skill of her clan, this Xiao Yan is really no ordinary person." Venerable Wind narrowed his eyes, a hint of coldness flashing through them. Venerable Wind smiled faintly and said, "Venerable Wind, you should be cautious. Qing'er is from the celestial monster imperial family. If something happens to her, the celestial monster imperial family will never let it go. You should know the overbearing nature of this race and don't invite unnecessary trouble." Venerable Wind suddenly smiled and said, "Are you threatening me?" When Venerable Thunder saw the smile on Venerable Wind's face, a hint of vigilance rose in his heart. Venerable Wind has been famous for a long time and has the longest seniority. As early as when Venerable Thunder was only a dozong, Venerable Wind had already gained great fame in Central Continent. Although the two seem peaceful now, Venerable Thunder still has a fear of Venerable Wind in his heart. Venerable Wind smiled and said noncommittally, "Whether it's true or not, both you and I know." Venerable Wind glanced at Venerable Thunder, then turned to look at the arena and said with a faint smile, "I won't do the thing of bullying the young, and it's still not clear who will win and who will lose." Venerable Thunder sneered and said, "Don't you really think that Xiao Yan can deal with Qing'er? Qing'er has used the secret skill of her clan. Even the strong ones of the Wind and Thunder Pavilion are helpless, let alone this Xiao Yan who has just broken through to Do Huang not long ago." Venerable Wind smiled and did not answer. He knew the other party's meaning in his heart, but still decided to wait for the final outcome. Venerable Thunder laughed loudly and said, "Since you said so, let's see who laughs last." During the communication between the two giants, Xiao Yan in the arena couldn't calm his mind. After inferring Feng Qing'er's identity, he felt a sudden realization. It turned out that when he saw Feng Qing'er's pair of colorful phoenix wings, he felt so familiar. If the colorful feathers and flesh were removed, the phoenix wings were exactly the same as his ancient wings. This woman is actually from the celestial monster imperial family. When Xiao Yan felt the constantly fluctuating cyan and red blood in the ring, he secretly cursed. After encountering someone from the celestial monster imperial family, the blood also mutated. The celestial monster imperial family is really strange. It's no wonder that it can become one of the 3 powerful forces in the Warcraft world. He suppressed the fluctuation of the cyan and red blood to avoid attracting Feng Qing'er's attention. The strength of the celestial monster imperial family far exceeds that of the Wind and Thunder Pavilion. In case Feng Qing'er discovers that he has the blood of the celestial monster imperial family in his hand, it will surely cause trouble, and a sense of crisis welled up in his heart. Xiao Yan released the thunder light and his figure disappeared instantly. But just as Xiao Yan disappeared, the strange jet-black light descended from the sky and smashed hard on the hard thunder curtain square, immediately forming a huge crater. Around the crater, the pitch-black flames were burning, emitting a gloomy and cold aura. Xiao Yan appeared in mid-air and stared closely at the extremely faint pitch-black flames, feeling the strangeness and coldness in them. Xiao Yan knows the different fires well, but he has never seen this kind of flame before. What kind of flame is this? It's not a different fire. Otherwise, the different fires in my body would react, but how come its power is not weaker than that of a different fire? Xiao Yan was shocked in his heart. He is familiar with the types of different fires on the different fire ranking, but he can't find the same one as this flame. The jet-black light missed, but from the sky, it transformed into a black python-like jet-black light, attacking Xiao Yan with a low growl. Feng Qing'er sneered. The sound raised by the jet-black light spread wantonly in the sky. She said, "Xiao Yan, the power of the sacred elephant is unavoidable. If you don't submit, your life will be yours for a lifetime." Feng Qing'er's sneer seemed not to be heard by Xiao Yan. He exerted the ultimate 3000 lightning movement, and several afterimages flashed in the sky. However, as soon as these afterimages appeared, they were completely destroyed by the subsequent jet-black light. He waved the heavy ruler in his hand and several huge green ruler auras collided with the jet-black light, but to no avail. The speed of the jet-black light did not even pause for a moment. Faced with the indifference of the jet-black light, Xiao Yan's expression became more and more solemn. This power of the sacred elephant is indeed strange. Constant avoidance is not the solution. The power of the sacred elephant has consumed a lot of his Do Qi. Judging from Feng Qing'er's situation, she can only use it once, but at this moment, she is trying to recover her Do Qi. If she uses the power of the sacred elephant again, the situation will become more tricky. Xiao Yan's thoughts turned rapidly. Ordinary attacks have almost no effect on the power of the sacred elephant. To destroy it, a more terrifying force is needed. A cold glint flashed in his eyes. His left hand clenched tightly, and the emerald green flame burst out, rotating rapidly and splitting into cyan and invisible flames. He touched his forehead, and the pale white flame also emerged. 3 kinds of different fires were burning on his palm, and the temperature was so terrifying that the entire sky became hot, and even the dark clouds in the distance began to dissipate. Venerable Thunder, Venerable Wind, Venerable Sword, and Venerable Yellow Spring, the 4 of them, changed their expressions on their seats. Although they have seen different fires, they have never seen a person possess 3 kinds of different fires. Venerable Wind's gaze stayed on the 3 kinds of different fires on Xiao Yan's palm. It seemed that he suddenly thought of something and murmured softly, could this be the burning formula? That stubborn old man actually gave such a cultivation technique to Xiao Yan. Venerable Wind's gaze stayed on the 3 kinds of different fires on Xiao Yan's palm. It seemed that he suddenly thought of something and murmured softly. Xiao Yan fused the 3 kinds of different fires without the slightest hesitation. His strength is enough to complete this matter. Although it is not easy to maintain the balance, he concentrated his mind and tried to maintain the strange balance point. The jet black light attacked again. Xiao Yan did not look up and flashed away, appearing more than 10 zhang away. When his gaze swept again, he quickly dodged. The 3-color fireball on his palm slowly condensed, and a fire lotus composed of 3 colors slowly rose. As soon as the fire lotus appeared, the entire space seemed to be thrown with a huge rock, causing ripples one after another, and the violent energy also became scattered in the heaven and earth. This scene was so explosive that the heaven and earth were in chaos. The expressions of Venerable Thunder and others changed greatly. They felt the dangerous aura emanating from the fire lotus. This guy can actually exert such a powerful Do skill. Venerable Wind nodded gently, and a hard-to-conceal smile appeared on his face. That stubborn old man's vision is indeed sharp. This Xiao Yan is qualified to be his disciple. The fire lotus was successfully formed, and Xiao Yan finally steadied his body. He wiped the cold sweat on his forehead, looked up at Feng Qing'er, let out a long suppressed breath in the sky, and then raised his head and soared into the sky with a heroic smile. Under the wrath of the Buddha, no ghosts exist.